Okay, hi there. So we should be live now on all the channels. Um, and welcome to a wonderful Saturday afternoon here at Studio 51. I'm Amy Kucharik, and I've got my special guest here today, Greg Toro, who I'm really stoked to, even though we're not in the same room playing music together, at least we get to play music together-ish. And we should be live now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I'm really stoked about Twitch, by the way. And I'm just going to run over there and check in my browser and make sure that we're actually live. But I just started having a channel on Twitch. And oh, yeah, we sure are. Yeah, look at that. Here we are. And I got to say hi to Gordon. Thanks for joining us. So I'm really loving Twitch. It's an excellent platform where I've just created a streamer song list, which is a thing that I don't know how to use yet. So if you request songs on the streamer song list, I'll do my best to play them, but I may not be able to check them off correctly. So we'll see how that all goes. And but Twitch is a great channel. It's, usually people are playing video games, but recently there have been more and more people playing music, including my friend Jonathan Bird, who's sort of the one who convinced me that was the new place to be. But I wanted to not leave out my Facebook fans or the people that don't do Facebook or Twitch. You can be watching us on YouTube. So without further ado, I'm going to play a song to get us started. We're going to hear from Greg here in a minute. But for now, I want to play you a song, and let's see, I'm going to mute Greg, and I'm just talking through all this stuff here like a great host. I'm gonna play you a song by my friend Leo DeSanto. The good old days, they may come again, like zombies out of Night of the Living Dead. Your old love may come back to haunt you. Old troubles may return once more to taunt you. Would you really want to come again in times that would already passed away? Sure, it's lonely in your bed, but you're sleeping with the dead when you long for those good old days. The good old days may come again and hang around your door. Beware you're wishing when you're weeping or longing for the things that were before. Well, those good old days may come again once more. Now nostalgia, she is a charmer. She'll get in your pants and disarm ya. She'll flash those baby blue eyes and romance you. She'll fiddle all the tunes you used to dance to. And later, when you're lying sighing in her arms and you recklessly ask her to stay, oh man, she's already gone, and that's the lonely trip you're on when you long for those good old days. The good old days may come again and hang around your door. Beware you're wishing when you're weeping or longing for the things that were before. Oh, those good old days may come again once more. Look out now. So don't save up your pennies for time machines. This world knows no golden age. Always looking back over your shoulder will just twist up your spine when you get older. So awkward, go forward, don't go back in time. There'll be nowhere to go anyway. And you'll give away most of your love to a ghost when you long for those good old days. All right, here we go. The good old days may come again and hang around your door. Beware you're wishing when you're weeping longing for the things that were before. All those good old days may come again. Good old days may come again. Those good old days may come again once more. Oh, I gotta unmute Greg so you can hear. Let's see, how do I do this? There we go.
I was just clapping. Just a little applause from the Peanut Gallery.
Oh, I like it. Peanut Gallery. Oh, let's see. I got to change your caption. Let's see. There's Greg Toro, bassist extraordinaire. So, how's it going today?
It's good. Like I was saying, it's nice to just see your face and hear your voice and playing again. You know, we used to do it so often, and it's something that I missed. You know, just hearing that song is like that was one of the ones that I always really enjoyed every time it was on the set list. It's got a great energy to it, and so yeah, this is a nice treat for me to just be here and, you know, share music with you and everyone watching now and in the future.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So I love that song. That's, like I said, Leo DeSanto of the Vinegar Creek constituency from Pennsylvania wrote that song, and I picked it up and he heard me play it. And he's like, yeah, that you can play that one. So it was really fun to get to play that song for him. But I jazzed it up a bit more than he does. He's kind of got a bluegrassy sound. And of course it sounds better with bass, but most things do.
Yeah, that's true.
And so for those of you who are watching us, if you've never met Greg or gotten to see him play with me, which, you know, we couldn't go together to Falcon Ridge or Kerrville or Nerfa or some of the places where I've met, for instance, Gordon, who's watching us today. But Greg's played with me in my band numerous times since about, I think, 2013, when we called him in for an emergency recording session. We had bass players kept falling ill, and we said, you know what, it's time to bring in Greg Toro. And I never looked back.
Yeah, I like that idea that I was just sort of like, you know, the fixer that you bring in when, you know, you need some bass done, you know, well and quickly.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that today, actually, that recording session when I had learned the songs from just listening to your recordings of them, but then showing up and like standing with my bass in your closet, like trying to get a good sound and get good takes. Like that was the beginning of a beautiful relationship. So that was nice.
Thanks. I feel the same way. And, you know, Greg is so humble and unassuming about his talents. He plays with so many bands and so many people, and is a pinch hitter for a lot of people too. Like, just call him in when they can't, you know, when they need somebody to get the job done. But I didn't even know that Greg has his own album of music that's online, and I went to get his website link, which is right there, gregorytoro.com, and found out that he's got his whole own album. So you want to tell everybody about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was a project that came together over many years. Like, you know, after playing with bands, you know, I like working with as many different people as I can, just because every new thing I do, I find that I learn something new and I like it. So over the years, after I went to Berkeley in the early 2000s, and I met a lot of musicians there who inspired me to write music of my own, but I just never had an opportunity to record it until a few years ago. And I put together a band and dug out some songs that I had written many years before, and some that were brand new. And it's all instrumental music. It's, you know, on the jazzier side, and it's sort of eclectic because it's from many different gears or versions of my personality, maybe. But as a whole, I think it sounds like me when I listen to it. It sounds like my personality in music form. So if you want to check it out, please head on over to the website. And I've got links to lots of other people that I play with, like Amy's music, and dozens of other bands that I work with. All have music represented.
Is that your main band? Is Strange Changes, right?
Yeah, that's the one where I would say I have the highest level of seniority. A lot of the other bands I play in, I'm lower on the totem pole or higher as the metaphor goes.
Uh,
Um,
you're,
but yeah,
you know
that's
what?
the one that I've had a lot of work with.
You're the base of the totem pole. So you might be like lower on the pole, but it wouldn't stand up if it weren't for you being there, you know?
Yeah, right. The people at the bottom of the pole are actually the more important ones. So it seems like sort of a hidden compliment when you tell people that they're low on the totem pole.
Yeah, I would never tell you you're low on the totem pole anyway.
Well,
But
as a bass player, I'm proud of it.
yeah, I try to not like run my bands like a dictatorship or anything. You know, I like it to be a democracy. So, but we Greg and I've been playing together for a while now, and you know, along with Tim Lewandowski and some other great people. Ariel Bernstein plays with us a lot of the time, and Christy Smythe used to sing with us, and you know, still will hopefully in the future. um, so Gordon in the chat says your bass players are like the drummer in Spinal Tap. I'm like, oh no, I hope not. We have had that with drummers though. We've had let's see. Well, no, actually, my first bass player got arrested, and I've had drummers whose cars have broken down, who've just like disappeared mysteriously. You know, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I've been on some of those gigs where we had sort of last-minute substitute drummers, and they've got some of them have gone actually surprisingly well. I won't mention the other ones, but I remember one in particular where Ariel was stuck in the Philippines because of like a typhoon or some horrible weather catastrophe. He couldn't get back to play a gig with us.
He had the flu. He was in the hospital in the Philippines, and then there was a typhoon. So yeah. But a guy named Victor Hernandez stepped up, but he was George Woods' drummer at the time, and he was great. He went to Berkeley too, so there you go. Berkeley musicians.
Yeah, a lot of that's one of the best things I learned at Berkeley was just how to step into any situation and feel like you can make a real contribution and be professional about it.
Yeah. Well, enough talk. How about, do you want to play a song?
I would love to.
Yeah, sweet. I'll have you play one, and maybe we'll bounce back and forth, and then I'll have you do a few together.
Okay.
Let's yeah. Here's Greg Toro.
Sure. So by way of preface, I'll say that there's not a lot of opportunity for solo bass work. So most of my bread and butter is playing with other bands. But since in the last year I've had a lot more time just sitting alone at home, I've tried to just keep myself entertained by learning songs that I like on bass. And here's one that I think is sort of apropos and one that's meant a lot to me. So I'm going to tune this down. Already we're in alternate tuning land here. I'm going to go for a low D. little Beatles for you.
Oh, I meant to put us side by side, and I made myself maximized. Let's see if we can undo that. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that song. I was playing along. With a little help from my friend.
Yeah.
My child with a little help from my friend. Not quite my vocal key, but it's a fun song. I love Beatles songs. Their chord changes are always so interesting. Not usually too complicated, just creative and cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And listening to Paul McCartney's bass playing, he's not what a lot of people like. He's not on high on a lot of people's lists of like, the most flashy or exciting bass players. I guess he's known more as a songwriter. But his bass playing in that group is really beautiful. His work sort of outlines those interesting chord changes in ways that really bring them to life and add sort of some cool motion and emotion to it.
Yeah, which is like a really good thing for bass players, which I is actually one of the things I like about your bass playing is like you don't, unless I ask you to get flashy, you don't play too many notes, you're just like underpinning the song in such a way that it really highlights all the other stuff that's going on. So I dig it.
Yeah, well, that's my job on the totem pole, is to support all of you guys.
The totem pole. Maybe that's our new band name.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not the worst. I mean, but I think so. Speaking of the Beatles, I'm actually a George Harrison fan myself. So I was thinking about playing a George Harrison song for you now, and I think I'll do that. All right.
I'd love to hear it. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Let's switch things over. Yeah. So. Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she moves woos me. I don't want to leave her now. I believe in how. Something in her smile, she knows that I don't need no other lover. Something in her style that shows me I don't want to leave her now. I believe in how. You're asking me where my love grows. I don't know. I don't know. Stick around now, it may show. I don't know. I don't know. Something in the way she knows. All I have to do is think of her. Something in the things she shows me. I don't want to leave her now. I believe in how. Woo! All the crazy little fiddly bits in that one. I've been working up a video of that, and I think I did like 20 takes to finally get all the little noodly parts perfect. But oh, you're still muted. I'm sorry. I thought I unmuted you. There you go.
That's fine. I'm just listening.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So anyway, what we were talking about with the cool chord changes, that's uh, that song is just such an example. And I guess the thing is, George Harrison tended to write a lot on the top four strings of the guitar. In other words, like not so when guitar is tuned E, A, D, G, B, E. And so he wrote a lot on the DGBE side, which means that it works really well on ukulele because ukulele is like DGBE, but it's CGEA.
Oh, that's a good point. I actually didn't. I mean, I didn't make that connection that like that his songs especially would translate very well.
And so bass is the other side of the guitar. Is that right? Is it like
Yep. Yeah, it's the
E-A-D-G
EADG part.
DG part? Ah, yeah. Anyway, I love my four-stringed instruments.
Yeah, same here.
Yay. Well, let's see. Let's hear a few from Greg now, I guess. Is that cool? You want to play a couple in a row?
Yeah, I'd be glad to.
All right. And if you got like any of your own stuff, I'd love to hear it, but whatever you're feeling. Greg Toro. Oh, sorry about that. I think I accidentally muted you. I tried to mute myself. You know what? And I meant to say before I introduced you, I got to say hi to Ron and to Jesse. Thanks so much for joining us. And Heather. And hey, Bootsy Bug from Twitch, a new Twitch friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. And keep the comments going. And by the way, if you're watching on Twitch, I do have a new streamer song list. And it's just, I don't remember how to share the link for it right now. But if you can figure out how to get it, it is hopefully working. So, but without further ado, here is Greg Toro.
Hello again. I think I'll stick with the theme because I've actually been, this. Well, it's springtime officially now, and I think we're all pretty glad about that. The warmer weather and the longer days really do a lot for people's mental health. Just getting outside and enjoying things. But in recent months, I found a lot of solace in what we were talking about and listening to old songs that I remember from my childhood and the Beatles in particular. So we were just talking about songs with really interesting bass lines and chord changes. So here's one of the Beatles song that I think is really interesting and also sort of difficult to play on solo bass. So forgive me if it's not. Well, anyway, here we go.
while you're playing, and I don't know if you can hear me, but when you did that, I went, "Wah!" And you started laughing. I thought you could hear me.
Oh no, it was just I had never. I was just having fun with it. These songs are sort of like getting their first airing in public here, so I'm still sort of experimenting with how many liberties to take.
Yeah.
And when I deviate from the script a little bit, I'd sort of surprise myself sometimes.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool.
Yeah, I love speaking of Paul McCartney, like the way the song is in A, but he never plays in A the whole time. He's just all of his chords are just all over the place. So yeah, it's very interesting.
G, C, D on the chorus.
Yeah. That's another great thing is they always they keep changing keys into interesting ways to just suddenly jump into a new tempo, a new key. Like suddenly it just sounds like a new song, but the way they knew each other so well, they make their songs sound like they're just the Beatles.
I would love to write a song that does that. But so I said I was going to have you play a couple, but we got a request for Frogs and Oscar Wilde that came in here. And I was thinking songs that change keys. It's like the one song I wrote that has a key change.
I was just going to say, that's a great one.
Oh, thanks. So I'm afraid to try to play it together, especially one that's got such a up tempo kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe I'll play Frogs and Oscar Wilde, so you can be thinking about what you want to play next, and then we'll have you do a couple in a row. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. That's Greg Toro, everybody. And change my thingy. Yay, there we go. All the buttons. I got to press all the buttons here. All right. So I'll play you an original song. And Greg, yes, definitely. This one's on the new album. So Greg played bass on this one, and this is called For Frogs and Oscar Wilde. And Oscar Wilde had a quote. He let me see if I can think of it now. It was he said something about you know what, I'm just gonna play the song because the quote's in the song. I'll remember it when I get to it, hopefully. I've been walking around for weeks with no umbrella in the rain. Quoting Oscar Wilde inside my head to keep me sane, but I don't know what to do to keep from crying over you today. Now you can look to lonely gurus in the mountains of Nepal. I can listen to a frog playing banjo in the swamp, but I don't know what to do to keep from crying over you today. You say rainbows only come after the rain. Love will always bring you round again. And platitudes will make the whole world kin, but they won't bring you back or ease my pain. Whoa, lover, won't you sing me something in a different key? For the dreamers and the frogs and Oscar Wilde and me. Same love song since before our muses met. Arm in arm they walk along. I watch the sidewalk get wet, but I don't know what to do to keep from crying over you today. You've been clutching your new lover like a sculptor holds his stone. I've been picking up the pieces like a dog picks a bone, but I don't know what to do to keep from crying over you today. I know rainbows only come after the rain. Love will always bring you around again. And latitudes will make the whole world kin, but they won't bring you back. Oh, lover, won't you sing me something in a different key? For the dreamers and the frogs and Oscar Wilde and me. And if your lover does you wrong, you'll find good company with the dreamers and the frogs and Oscar Wilde and me. Hey! So that's for Frogs and Oscar Wilde for Gordon Nash by request. And that's one that modulates, so it goes up, it changes keys, but it doesn't actually, like the Beatles thing is they have these songs that will change key for the bridge or just for the middle eight, they call it, or the whatever, so that one modulates, and then I keep playing the chords from the wrong key. It's like, oh, now this is the time that it goes to the G minor instead of the D minor. But anyway, so let's hear some more from Greg Toro. Are you ready?
Sure.
Oh, awesome. All right. I'll switch things over here. Yeah.
All right, here's an oldie but a goodie, I would say. The song is all in one key. I hope, if I play it right. We got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me.
That one, that was a Beatles song. I recognized the tune, but I couldn't figure out which one because I.
Please Please Me, it's called.
Okay, yeah, that's one of the ones I don't know super well.
Yeah, a lot of their older stuff, it's like, it's not what they're famous for, but I guess I mean, back when they became famous, that's what they were famous for. but now that they've done so many other interesting things, it's like, they're the older part of their catalog seems like part of just another era.
My favorite one like that is Things We Said Today. It's older, not as well known. But yeah, you want to do another one?
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
we can keep going back and forth, but
yeah, I'll do another.
All right.
I'd be hard pressed to think of another band that's had so many. I mean, I guess there's a few, but like so many recognizable songs that you could just sing along with. Like, how many they must have. I don't know, 50 or 60 songs that if you put them on the radio, most people in the room would at least know the chorus or be able to sing along. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Definitely. All right, so back to Greg.
All right, let's go back to drop D. We'll do a ballad this time.
Yeah. I wanted to see Joel Edenberg commented, Toro!
Hi, Joel.
That's a good song.
It's a classic, man. Like, it just it gets me every time.
I haven't memorized that one. I've learned it to play and worked on it with some of my ukulele students because it's a really interesting example of like a chord melody style accompaniment where like you can just play chords, but it moves in such a way that it makes makes an interesting little tune come out on your instrument. You know this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Michelle, we should play that one sometime, like together. But not right now. Okay, well, so let's see. What should we do now? Maybe I should play. Maybe I should play Things We Said Today since I was talking about that one.
Yeah.
I'll play a couple, and then maybe we can do one together. We'll try a crazy experiment.
Let's give it a try. I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, we could just go ahead and do it right now, but
no. I would love to hear your song first.
All right. Well, here we go then. Things We Said Today. Oh, would be better with the camera. You say you will love me if I have to go. You'll be thinking of me. Somehow I will know. Someday when we're dreaming so deep in love, not a lot to say, that we will remember things we said today. You say you will love me till the end of time. These days, such a kind girl seems so hard to find. Someday when I'm lonely, wishing you weren't so far away, then I will remember things we said today. Me, I'm just the lucky kind. Love to hear you say that love is love, and though we may be blind, love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when I'm lonely, wishing you weren't so far away, then I will remember things we said today. Me, I'm just the lucky kind. Love to hear you say that love is love, though we may be blind. Love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when I'm dreaming so deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today. Then we will remember things we said today. So pretty cool progression in that Beatles song. Yeah. I said I was going to play some jazz and blues today, so we don't have to give up the Beatles trend, but we could also maybe work in some jazz and blues. Oh, and Gordon says he has played Michelle on the viola. That's awesome. Maybe we can start a trio: viola, ukulele, and bass. What do you think? That would be pretty cool, right? Oh, looks like Greg has gotten his upright bass. Check this out. Upright bass. Woo! Oh, you're still muted. Let me unmute you. There we go.
Only 4-string instruments allowed in our trio. If you got 3 strings or 5, it's not going to happen.
How many strings? Viola has 4 strings, right?
Yeah.
Violin, viola, cello, all those are 4-string. We can have tenor guitar, ukulele. Yeah. Well, actually, that was what the 4-string serenaders started out to be. So I have a 1920s group that plays. I guess we got our start because we got invited to play for something called the Roaring Twenties Lawn Party up at the Crane Estate in Ipswich, Massachusetts, which is like this fabulous gala every summer, except for this past summer, of course. But everybody dresses up in their 1920s clothes, and they have vendors who sell all kinds of cool vintage stuff and retro stuff. And there's dance performances and music performances, and they have big like groups like Gordon Webster and Tamar Korn on the main stage, but my little group got invited to be this roving band to play at some of the smaller stages. And so we made up this trio, and Greg was not available, I think, at the time. So we had Derek Van Wormer played with us, which Derek is cool. And he was actually somebody that Greg recommended to me. And so we called it the 4-String Serenaders, and we had clarinet, and I think that was the crux of it. But anyway, Gordon says mandolin has 4 courses. Does that count? I don't know. Technically, that's 8 strings.
Yeah, you might have to cut 2 of those off of there. Like you can only play.
You can only use 4 of them at a time.
Yeah, you can only use half the strings, and then you're good to go. Or if you got a guitar, just break 2 of the strings, and we'll make it work.
All right, so we're going to try a crazy experiment here. So those of you who are watching are in for this. Could be a treat, or it could be a train wreck. And treat or train wreck. That might be our album.
I like that.
The Totem Pole Band.
Yeah, I can already see the wheels turning. Like.
The wheels on the bus.
Oh, I missed that one too. That's a classic that we haven't played in a while.
Well, we can always do that one. But so I think we're going to try this song, and we did not actually decide what the form is. Let me find my sheet music here just in case. That one it's called Sun, Dirt, Water. And it's this really cool song that I had heard done just by vocals and bass. So we've performed it that way several times, and we'll see how this goes. So we have like a whole bunch of solos written out on the chart here, and I think we could probably condense that. And maybe if you want to take like the equivalent of either a verse or a chorus as a solo, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll do a verse.
A verse as a solo, and then hopefully I'll remember to come back in when it's time. So, all right, here we go. G minor, I guess.
Oh, sure, okay.
Well, it's written out in G minor on this chart. I don't know.
It's been a while. We used to do it in E minor, but either one is fine with me.
Would you trade me for all the pretty girls, all the ones who came before? Who left you broken hearted with your back against the wall? Or would you cash in all of your high times for some lasting company? But once I'm grateful your down for eternity. Well, if you're holding on for something, just reach and rise above. Give me sun, give me dirt, give me water, give me sweet, everlasting love. Would you travel right across the world to meet a woman that you didn't know? If you thought that she might be the one to put the roots down and you let go? Oh, would you take her hand and walk with her through the narrow gates of life? Oh, gather your load, prepare to travel. It's gonna keep from trouble and strife. Well, if you're holding right on something, down right across. Give me sun, give me water, give me sweet everlasting love. Oh, won't you give me sun, give me dare, give me water, give me sweet everlasting love. Yeah!
Did we make it? I don't know.
We did it! Oh my gosh, it wasn't like a train wreck.
Great, yeah. That was harder than I
said
thought it would be, to be honest. But I think we, well, people can tell us if it was if it was a train wreck or a treat.
I mean, we've had sloppier versions when we played it live when we were in the same room. So that was actually relatively tidy. You know, we knew what the form was this time.
Yeah, right.
Half the time I get lost in the solos. I'm like, I don't know where we are. Whose turn is it? I'm just gonna sing now. But that actually worked.
Yeah, well, I gotta say that's something that I miss about playing live music with you and other people.
Is
the spontaneity of it. Like, you never really know what's gonna happen, and so, you know, sometimes depending on the crowd or your mood that day or whatever else is going on, like, songs take on a different flavor, a different kind of mood. And you never know, like, if someone just decides to take an extra solo or somebody gets lost, it's like, it's just part of the fun. And I miss playing those sort of like pinky out New England mansion gigs. Like, you know, every summer there's a handful of gigs at Crane Estate or, you know, down in Newport, and just being there playing old timey music for people sitting on the lawns is like, I don't know, it's a highlight for me. I really enjoy those gigs.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get to do them together again someday. I remember we've done some pretty weird ones. Like, there was the time we had to go to a pizza place and dress up like the 1920s for a murder mystery.
I forgot that was actually not that long ago. That was a relatively recent gig that we had.
Yeah, that was pretty close to the time before the pandemic started. So we had that gig, and I think we had a couple others, and then our big the murder mystery. You were there for the what is that called? Bread and Bones at MIT, the big blues and swing dance event.
Yeah.
That was our last hurrah. Then we were supposed to play at John Henry's Hammer Coffee House out in Worcester, Mass. And we had to cancel that one because it started to seem like it was a bad idea. And then, like, the next day, everything shut down. So Greg came over and played in my living room because we were like, oh, we're still fine playing, you know, in the same room together without masks. But it was not long before, you know, we were like, no, can't do that.
I remember that day, actually, because that was March 15th of last year, because the 13th was a Thursday.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a gig in Hartford, Connecticut, at Black Eyed Sally's, and I walked into the bar, and they had, on the TV, they had canceled all sports. And I was like, oh, if sports are canceled, like, music is next. Like, it's going to happen. And sure enough, that night, like, my Friday gig was canceled. And then on Friday, all my gigs were canceled. So being able to do that thing with you that Saturday was like, you know, a nice way to sort of, well, ease into a period of not having a lot of work.
Yeah. But I just got scheduled for my vaccine. So next weekend, I'm going to go drive out to Natick and get stuck in the arm and for my first vaccine. So I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to rehearse together and play music together, even if we can't do live performances just yet, But
well, yeah, hopefully this summer the weather's nice and we'll do a bunch of outdoor stuff. I mean, if anybody listening likes having live musicians in your backyard, call us up.
That's right. Have vans and 4-string instruments. We'll travel.
Yeah, right.
And so I'm not seeing anything happening in the chat right now, which I'm hoping that it's just people have gotten quiet. Here we go. Gordon says, yay for the vax. If you grow an extra arm, you can play 2 instruments at once. I already do play 2 instruments, sometimes 3. I've got the foot tambourine, the harmonica, and one of these stringed things. So
yeah, as long as you only have 4 strings total, we'll be good.
What if I have 4 strings on one instrument and 4 strings on another instrument?
Oh, well then, yeah, it'll just be a duo. We can only have 12 strings total.
All right. Let's see. Well, I was thinking maybe I should do something where I play 2 instruments at once. But that was really fun. We should do another one like that. I just got to think about what other songs we can pull off.
Yeah, let's try it.
In that format. But let's see here. How about... Well, you know what? I know Gordon is a fan of the Catcallin' Blues, so maybe we should try that one. We could even try it together. It might be crazy, but...
At least we know the form.
That's right.
If it's a blues, I know it.
If it's a blues, I know it. That's true. So I got all these parts and pieces I got to configure here. Let's see. Headphones, harmonica. I don't know if I've got the right... If I got the right one here. Let's find out. Nope. I should probably just check what the harmonica is. We are looking for the harmonica in E, I think. It's always an adventure here. Yeah, we got it. So we're in B. And this is called the Catcallin' Blues. And let's see if we can pull this off with playing multi.
Yeah, and I should say, one of the unwritten rules of bass playing, sort of like the customer is always right, the singer is always right, they say, when it comes to playing songs. But in this case, I'm gonna have to be driving the bus. So if there's a mistake, I won't know until a few seconds too late. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll do our best. We'll see what happens for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the singer's always right. It's just that.
Well, that's one of my policies in being a professional musician is even if the singer's wrong, they're right.
That's true. All right, so here we go.
In B.
We got nothing to find except we're standing on the street, just on our way to the laundromat. This ain't me, but now you got my attention. I might as well share the news. Your so-called the Catcallin' See, I've been minding my own business with my own thoughts in my head, like a song that I would write in your house gets this bread. But about global warming or which candidate to choose, then you elected me on the pick of your catcalling. Before now I know I'm already hot. I also think you're not. I don't want to forget this much your mama taught you to carry on. You're rolling with your crew. Would you like to see your sister get a cat calling blue? Greg Toro on the bass. Now see, I don't mean to sound conceited, but your muscles don't impress, and I'm sure there's gonna seem like there's gonna be stress. Fell before you started, pick up on social cues. So I will kindly say, got to you a little cat calling blues. Oh boy. That was weird, right? It's like,
Yeah.
You're the metronome, but I'm still the conductor. So like usually the metronome and the conductor are the same person, trying to follow your tempo, but still call the form was interesting.
Yeah, and for me too, trying to like set the form, but always be about a second and a half in front of where I think it should be is like it's really a temptation for me to slow down so I match what I'm hearing, but instead I just have to plow on through no matter what.
Yeah. Well, that
was
was
a good experiment.
Those of you who are watching, let us know in the chat if it actually worked or if it was like
or don't. if it was terrible, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, but I don't think we could do that with more than 2 musicians. I think it would get insane.
We'd have to look into a way to do it, but we might be able to set something up in the future.
The just bass and vocals seemed a little more smooth sailing, I think. So maybe we can do one more like that before we're done for the day. Gordon says, "Yep, it weird. I can't conceive how you did that." We're not sure either.
Yeah, it's sort of like a tongue twister, like one of these like pat your head and rub your belly things, like
oh yeah,
to know what you're supposed to do, and like my instinct is always to try to listen to the musicians I'm playing with, but in this case I have to like try as hard as I can to not listen to what you're doing, and it's a new way of playing for me.
Yeah, and what was I just gonna say? I don't even remember. It's actually like the listening part and holding on to the tempo was very tricky. It's like we need to establish a common metronome, but otherwise it wasn't. I don't know. Like I said, with Sundry Water, we've had sloppier renditions in person, and I think it's like my MO is just sort of like, hold on, here we go, fly by the seat of our pants, So
that's part of the charm of it. I love playing gigs like that.
Oh, I'm glad. But and also half the time, like in person, there's the band to lead and listen to and sort out any if somebody's getting fussy or somebody needs to eat or it's time for a break, and then there's the organizers, you got to make sure they're okay, but really you're always like beholden to the audience and their feedback. And then like if I add some complication, like I'm wearing the wrong shoes, my feet are hurting, or my instrument goes out of tune or something, and there's just like so many, like it's like trying to rub your belly, pat your head, and tap dance and whistle at the same time. But it's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, in some ways I feel lucky to be a bass player in that my job is relatively simple, because my responsibility is to you people on stage first, and then that comes through to the audience when we all sound good together. But luckily, I I don't usually have to do a wardrobe change and put on some strappy shoes to do it. Like I'm lucky that I just get to sit in the back and be sort of incognito at times.
Yeah, let's see. Well, I'm trying to think what else. Maybe I'll play a couple here and give you a moment to be incognito, and then we'll come back together. Maybe we'll hear.
Okay.
I don't know how many more songs you've got, but
A couple.
Awesome. We'll hear a couple or more from Greg Toro. But yeah, let's see. So I was thinking about this song here earlier that I wanted to play for you. And this one's written by another friend of mine named Clint Alphin, and he lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and does great country kind of folk songs. This is called the North Carolina Waltz. I'm not going to play harmonica. Oh, the wind through the tall pines of North Carolina moved in time to the rhythm of the waltz that we shared. On those warm summer nights when I held you in my arms, kissed you 'neath the moonlight that danced in your hair. Oh, why did you go? Why couldn't you stay? Questions unanswered that reflect in my mind. Now the wind sounds to me just like somebody leaving, and my lonely heart waltzes through North Carolina. All right, Gordon, here's your viola solo part. Why did you go? Why couldn't you stay? Questions unanswered that reflect in my mind. Oh, now the wind sounds to me just like somebody leaving, and my lonely heart waltzes through North Carolina. That's a Clint Alphin song, North Carolina Waltz. And by the way, this is my tenor guitar, and her name is Michelle. And this one is tuned like the four strings of the guitar that aren't the strings of the bass. So it's D, G, B, E, in case you're wondering. So I don't know if this counts as a big steel-stringed ukulele or a weirdly tuned tenor guitar, but they call it the Chicago tuning, actually, and it comes from like tenor banjo land. I'll play you a blues here. But it's hard to love someone when that someone don't love you. I feel disgusted, broken-hearted too. I got those downhearted blues. Once I was crazy about a man, mistreated me all the time. Next man I get has got to promise me to be mine, all mine. Oh, trouble, trouble.
trouble. I've had it all my days. Oh, trouble, trouble, I've had it all my days. Well, it seems like trouble is gonna follow me to my grave. Now I ain't never loved but 3 men in my life. I ain't never loved but 3 men in all my life. That's my father, my brother, and the man that wrecked my life. Now it may be next week, maybe a month or two. Well, it may be next week, maybe a month or two. But the day you quit me, honey, is coming home to you. I got the world in a jug, and the stopper's in my hand. I got the world in a jug, and the stopper's in my hand. I'm gonna hold on to it till you men come under my command. That's the Downhearted Blues by Alberta Hunter and Lovey Austin, who were 2 women back in the 1920s, and they actually had a band, and Alberta Hunter, I believe, was the leader of that band, so I think that's pretty sweet. But now let's bring Greg Toro back. How you doing there, Greg?
Good. Just enjoying this. It's like it's sitting here. It's almost like getting a private concert. So I've been missing just hearing these songs in general. So this is nice. It's a real treat. This is a treat and not a train wreck for me.
Treat or train wreck? Yep, I'm into that.
Yeah, that could be a new series where you just have a musician on and just play a song and see how it goes.
Yeah, maybe that'll be my Twitch series. So we got a few people watching us over on Twitch and some over in Facebook. And I'm really excited that it's not just a private concert. We actually do have a small audience today. They've been coming and going, and that's pretty cool. So if you are watching us, I encourage you to post to the chat, and we will shout you out, and we will happily play your requests if we know them, and possibly even if we don't. And then it will be da 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 treat or train wreck. See, it works, right?
I like it already. This is it's got legs, as they say. We can make it happen.
But now a little bit more of the treat portion of today's show. So once again, I'm Amy Kucharik, and I'm here today with my good friend and stalwart bassist Greg Toro, and he's playing us some solo bass songs, and then we're doing some crazy experiments of trying to play together. But I'm going to turn it back over to Greg right now and hear some more from him. Oh, no, that's just me. There's Greg.
Thank you. It's a pleasure here to join you. I guess I should say, for people who are interested, that this is an acoustic electric bass, so I'm not plugged into anything. It's just it's a hollow-bodied bass made by Washburn. This is the AB20. I've had it for years, and I love just practicing on it because I can just sit on the couch or in bed and not bother the neighbors. Just work on learning new songs without having to plug in an electric bass or pull out the upright every time I need to do something. So sticking with a bit of the Beatles theme that we have going here, I'm going to play one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs. Make sure I'm in tune too. That's one of my all-time favorite songs. Not just Beatles songs, but just a beautiful song overall. So I like I was saying, there's not a lot of opportunity for solo bass players to work. Partly I think that's by design. For the most part, a ukulele or a guitar or a piano is much more suited to playing the melody and the chords of a song together. But I've really enjoyed working on some of these songs over the past few weeks and months, and just getting to know old Beatles songs better. You know, they're like a fine wine. Sometimes they just age very well. So I want to say, I guess, before Amy comes back, I want to just she might be too humble to say so herself, but you know, the records that we've made over the past few years and the live shows we do are always a real treat. They've got a certain energy and verve and a mix of modern sensibilities and sort of old time feeling that I think a lot of music needs these days, and is always a pleasure to listen to the first time or the 100th time. So if any of you out there, I'm sure you're all already fans of Amy's, but if not, you should check out her music and buy her albums and see her and possibly me whenever we're live in concert, hopefully coming to a town near you in 2021. I guess.
That's the case. I hope we will be, playing shows again. I'm thinking this summer, like, once at least the band is vaccinated, we can maybe host some outdoor, like, backyard concerts, and not feel like, because the big drawback for me has been, of course, singing with the mask. Like, I'm happy to do it, and it's definitely been safer that way, but I'd rather be vaccinated and feel that I'm not putting anyone else at risk and not have to wear the mask, because my throat really dries out fast with the mask on, and plus it's just hard to emote when you're covered up like this, and muffles everything. So that would be nice, but we'll see how things go. So fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Yeah. Well, if we're lucky, next time we do this, we can be in the same room, and we'll have a whole different train wreck on our hands.
That's our second album, a whole different train wreck. I was thinking, I wonder if we should try to see if we can do. I wonder if we could pull off Prodigal Son if I listen to you. And you,
yeah, let's give it a try. I'm up for anything.
Do you have to change basses for that, or can you play this one?
I'll play the upright. I got it right here.
Okay. Well, do you want to play another one while you've got the acoustic right there?
No, let's just jump right into it. I'm feeling the spirit.
Okay, feeling the spirit. I like that. Yeah. Ron says, come back to Davis Square once vaccinated. Yeah, we'll see, Ron. So the I guess silver lining of the pandemic for me has been that a lot of people wanted to take ukulele lessons. And so now I spend most of my days teaching ukulele lessons here virtually. We'll find out whether the pandemic has been a contributing factor if people will want to continue taking ukulele lessons, but I hope that they do, because it's been really good. But the flip side of that, of course, is that I don't have as much time to go out and busk. So we'll see. When the weather gets nice, I might just need to get outside and get my rocks off playing music, and that's usually when I go down to the square. But right now, Greg and I are going to try another crazy experiment. So we're going to play one of my original songs that we've played together many, many times. And I need to turn him up in my headphones so that I can listen to him. And we'll see how well this works out for us here. So, yeah, we're going to play a song called Prodigal Son. And I wrote this one using a quote from my grandmother. She used to say, she had a lot of these sayings. She would say things like, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, or what were some of her other favorites? Oh, my mom's watching. Mom, help me out if you can remember some of her sayings. The funny one that I could never quite figure out was, she would say, if you sing at the table, you'll cry before bedtime. Like, what? That's, pub sings are cursed, right? But anyway, the one that this song was based on was, she used to say, "You'll get your reward in heaven." So like famously, if my sister or I were complaining about something, "You'll get your reward in heaven." And so her quote came back to me when I was working on this song. The song is called "Prodigal Son," and I'm just gonna double check that I'm in tune. Pretty close. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're going to be in C minor.
All right, this will be a bit of a test for me because we haven't played this song in 13 months. So,
oh boy.
So we'll see how it goes. I guess maybe you can do the little like interlude before the verse, and then I'll do like an actual verse of solo, like where the solo goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like usually after the first verse, there's just like a little bit of an extra thing that I guess a horn player would fill in.
Yeah. So it's a verse and then a little interlude and then another verse and then there's the solo section. So I think it'll come back to us. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. My grandma grew up in the depression. That woman knew that life is hard. And whenever I complain that it just wasn't fair, she'd tell me if it comes where I'll get my reward. But heaven seems like such a long way away, and you got no guarantees. It's just paper. Here's what I say: let's have some fun today and enjoy our earthly pleasure. Just in case I don't want to wait for heaven, I don't care for angels anyhow. I don't want to wait for heaven. I want my reward in the here and now. Now I never cared much for that prodigal son running around while the work got done. Why save yourself for someone who will roam on a slate that cat? Girl, here at home now you can say the distance makes the heart grow fonder. I say you're wasting your time. Why wait another day for her arms far away? I can keep you warm here in mine. Oh, I don't want to wait for heaven. I don't care for angels any. I don't want to wait for heaven. I want my reward in the here and now. Greg Toro on the bass. Now, saving for the future is a mighty wise thing. But babe, you're all work and no play. Well, I don't want your dime, just want your precious time. I could use some of it today. Now you can say that patience is a virtue, and now for me shall inherit the earth. Well, I can try to be meek. That's about a week. Then I'm gonna ask for what I am worth. Oh, I don't wanna wait for heaven. I don't care for angels anyhow. I don't want to wait for heaven. I want my reward in the here and now. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I ain't no angel anyhow. I don't wanna wait for heaven. I want my reward right Okay, that was dangerous. That was
We're pushing the limits here.
I don't know if it was a train wreck, but that was a speeding train. It was a little off the rails for a minute there.
Yeah, pushing the limits of the technology here. We're trendsetters.
Oh boy, that was a little crazy. Yeah. By the way, I just want to remind you all, if you're watching, if you're in the chat, if you're on Twitch, you can check out our streamer song list. And if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube and you know some of the songs we play, feel free to request. Or if you don't, feel free to make requests. And if we know them, we might play them. How about that? Let's see. What do we want to play now? I could do that one. Oh, thanks, Gordon. Yeah. Gordon has just shared the link to the streamer song list. And I know you can see that if you have a streamer song list account. I'm not sure if the general public can see that, but it's really easy and free to sign up if you're interested, and especially if you're a Twitch person. If you use Twitch, it's really cool. I haven't quite graduated to the level of figuring out all the integrated controls yet. That's my next step, is to get the overlay working so I can actually share what I'm playing, but I can't, I have to use a different interface. I have to go through OBS, and it's so easy to just go in through Restream that I was like, you know what, I'm going to bring in a guest. I'm going to go through Restream. And so I'm not going to mess with overlays and all that fancy stuff just yet. But I did spend a couple hours getting all the songs loaded. All the songs I could think of. There are over 100 songs. I know there are more songs I know than what are on the list. Some of them are not songs that I can play on solo ukulele. They go a little bit better with a full band. But Greg looks like he's ready to play. What do you want to play now, Greg?
Oh, I was just happy to have the bass in my hands again. I've been trying to think of what to play.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, just do a little C minor. Since we were just in C minor, I was thinking of I thought I might do just sort of like a bluesy improvisation, maybe.
Awesome. I'm into it. Yeah. An original C minor improvisation by Greg Toro.
Yeah, it had some flavors of some old gospel tunes in there, but it's just just sort of a stream of consciousness thing.
It was cool. I started to noodle along a little bit. I was like, but then I was like, no, what? I'm just gonna listen because this is nice, and I don't want to screw it up. Of course, nobody else could hear me noodling. Then it would have even screwed up. But oh yeah, so I'm planning to go till 5 o'clock today, so I got time for a few more songs. So if Greg, if you want to think about anything else you might want to play solo or otherwise, or we can try another crazy improvisation together, or not an improvisation song, a collaboration, we should say.
I'm game. I really am enjoying these.
Awesome, but I will do. I'll do a couple songs here, and I'm thinking about trying to do My Handyman, which I don't know. That one could work with bass, with remote bass. I don't know exactly how that would work out. I think you'd have to follow me and just come along for the ride.
Yeah, we'll work something out for next time.
All right, sounds good. So I will, I'll do a couple here. And if you're watching us, please comment in the chat. Let us know if there's any requests you'd like to hear today. We've still got time for a few more songs, and that's it. And by the way, I'll be back here on May 1st, same time, same place, May 1st, but I will have 3 at Home joining me as my special guest, which is an awesome band composed of Mary Casiello, who I think also went to Berkeley, and Dan Russo. And they're 2 local singer-songwriters who are just excellent, good people and good musicians, and they have a band that's a duo, and they're gonna join me here on Restream and Twitch and Facebook and all the channels for a little live stream concert. But yeah, let me play a couple here. So I'm gonna make the caption. There we go. This is called My Handyman. Whoever said a good man was hard to find, positively, absolutely sure was blind. I just found the best man that ever was, and And here's just a few of the things he does. He shakes my ashes, greases my griddle. He churns my butter and he strokes my fiddle. My man is such a handy man. He threads my needle, creams my wheat, heats my heater, and he chops my meat. My man is such a handy man. Don't care if you believe it or not, he's such a fine man to have around. 'Cause when my furnace gets too hot, he's right there to turn the damper down. Oh, for everything, he's got a scheme. You ought to see that new starter he uses on my machine. Well, my man is such a handy man. Well, he flaps my flapjacks and he cleans off the table, feeds the horses in my stable. My man is such a handy man. Sometimes he's up way before dawn, busy trimming the rough edges off my lawn. Oh, you can't get away from it. He's such a handy man. Never has a single thing to say while he's working hard. I wish that you could see the way he handles my front yard. Well, my ice don't get a chance to melt away. He always sees I get a nice fresh piece every day. Lord, that man is such a handy man. I think that's another Alberta Hunter song, although I could be wrong about that in the moment here. But My Handyman, another old. Actually, that one might have been one of those. It's written by Andy Razaf, who's the same guy that wrote Sugar. I think I'm drawing a blank. But Greg, you look like you're ready to go. How's it going over there?
Just enjoying listening. I think Andy Razaf also wrote not Stormy Weather. Maybe it was his some of those old Fats Waller tunes that are famous.
There's
have his handiwork in them.
Yeah, definitely. Andy Razaf wrote Ain't Misbehavin' along with Fats Waller.
There we go.
No one to talk with, all by myself. Oh boy. Yeah, that one's maybe I won't try that one right now.
There's a lot of chords in that song.
Yeah, I've got a couple that are more up to speed at the moment after you've gone, and some of those other 20 songs we used to do, but not the Andy Razaf ones tend to have like a million chords in them. I'm looking through my book now. Like, we've got hundreds of songs that we could theoretically do. Oh, but yeah. Let's see, 448. Well, maybe. I don't know. Are there any mine you want to hear today, Greg?
Well, I was thinking maybe we could try something easy, like Sugar in My Bowl, or Nobody Knows When You're Down and Out. That's something that we like to break out at gigs.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. So that was written by a fellow named Joe Cox, who I do not know personally because it was back in the 1920s, and it was made popular by Bessie Smith. And my cover is a little bit of a mashup of Bessie Smith's version and Eric Clapton's version. So doing the key of C. Oh boy, Gary Dreyfus. Hi, Gary. You were lurking and not letting us know you were here. It's good to see you popping up in the chat. He's got a whole list of songs. I don't know if those are requests or if those are songs that were written by Andy Razaf. Honeysuckle Rose, that's the other one. The Fats Waller.
Yeah. Oh, The Joint is Jumping. That's a good Fats Waller tune. Stomping at the Savoy. That's another classic.
Yeah. Every honeybee feels with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. You're my honey. Suckle rose, flowers droop and sigh when you're passing by. And I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. You're my honey. Suckle rose, don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. It's so sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, ooh, the honey fairly drips. Your confection, goodness knows. You're my honey. Suckle rose, I'm in C. Don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. It's so sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking the sips from your tasty lips, ooh, the honey fairly drips. Your confection, goodness knows. You're my honey, suckle rose. Hey, I actually knew that one. All right, so you look like you're ready to go now. We were going to play Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out.
Yeah, in C. Is that good for you?
Yeah. How should you want to count it in and I follow you?
I think that's probably the best idea. The count off is going to be the hardest part, and then once we're in it, it'll just flow.
That's all we can hope for. Treat or train wreck?
Yeah, welcome to the newest installment of Treat or Train Wreck. we got maybe a 50% hit rate. we're swinging both ways on this one.
All right, yeah. So Gordon and Gary or anybody else is watching, you get to vote treat or train wreck after the song. Here we go.
All right, so yeah, I guess I'll do one. I'll do the last like 8 bars up front, or 4.
Once had the life of a spent all my money, didn't have anything. Took all my friends out, I need good time. Bought blank liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. Lost all my good friends, had nowhere to go. If I ever get my hands on $1 again, I'm gonna hang on to it. That old friend is called nobody knows you. When you're down and out, in your pocket, not 1 minute, and a friend, you don't have any. I get back on my feet again. Gonna find all my lost friends. I said without any doubt. Now that I was Hear that solo bass. Nobody knows when you're down and out. Oh, I get back on my feet again. Oh Lord, I'm gonna find all my long lost friends here on the internet. I get it straight without any doubt. Nobody knows you tight to the end. Nobody knows you back to deep. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. Hey!
I'm really enjoying these. These get like more fun every time.
That actually worked.
It's a real challenge, but I like it.
I think it'll sound good to one of us, whoever's following, and the other one it sounds crazy.
Oh well, I hope it's you.
That one sounded good to me.
Good. That's good. I was trying to be, like a certain amount ahead of you constantly. So
Wow.
I think it worked out all right.
Oh, that was super fun. So I call that treat. I don't know. What do you say, folks?
It's a treat for me.
Gordon says there's times when my vocals fade out. Well, that's a totally different issue. I might need to turn up my gain just a tiny. Well, my gain's up real high. I don't know. I may have just. Who knows? Could be the restream.
Yeah, or maybe the volume difference between the two of us, the program is trying to like equalize, and instead of just letting you be louder.
Yeah. It's not flawless, but it's fun. So yeah, treat or train wreck. I'm digging it. Okay, Gary says good. So let's yeah.
Yeah, well, I just want to say again that this whole thing has been a treat for me, just to be in a virtual space with you and make music with you again is like, it's brought a smile to my face. So
Yay,
thank you for asking me to do this. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you are so welcome. For those of you who are watching, again, this is Greg Toro, who's been hanging out with me today, and we have some music available on Bandcamp, which I just put the link up there. Our newest release is Tiger Moan live at Blues Union, Vintage Blues, and it's, I think, 6 covers of mostly vintage blues music. There's one that's a little more modern that was written by Machia Lake's bass player, actually, or tuba player. Well, he's tuba bass, so he plays bass, but tuba. But anyway, so we released that not too long ago. We recorded that, I think, back in October or November, live in the Blues Union Dance Studio. We were masked and socially distanced, and that we picked the best songs from that event and put them out as an EP. So you can get that at Bandcamp. But I think we're almost at 5 o'clock now, but I think we should do a closer. And I don't know, anything else you want to add, Greg?
Everybody check out Amy's music live in person and also online.
Live and in person. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that happens summer of 2021 here. But for the moment, give us, whatever channel you're on, give us a like or follow, a heart, or, and if you want a tip, I'll put the tip link back up. Tips are welcome, Venmo or PayPal. But if not, just enjoy, share, and I hope you come back next time. May 1st, I'll be here with Mary Cassiello and Dan Russo. So we got to go out with our usual closer, and we might as well try to do this together. It's going to be crazy.
All right, I'm game.
I'll do the intro. I think you should. How do we do this? If you follow me, then you sound crazy to me, but that's okay. As long as I just barrel ahead, right?
Yep. We'll make adjustments. We'll make it work.
All right. I'm going to turn down the volume so I can hear you, but not too much. All right. So thanks again for joining us today. I'm Amy Kucharik. This is Greg Toro, and this song is Everything But Love. Tired of talking about romance. Seems to get the same song and dance. Don't want to hear about the one that done me wrong. Now that's enough about relationships. Don't want to think about your lips. Now how on earth did that get in this song? Let's talk about German expressionism. Let's talk about your artistic vision. Let's talk about whatever became of Michael Jackson's glove. Let's talk about really cool guitars, or how we got our scars. Let's talk about almost everything but love. Oh, but with your arms around me, I can't seem to concentrate. All I want to do is hold you close and stay up late. Let's talk about cephalopods. Let's talk about the Viking gods. Let's recount ancient stories about the stars above. Let's talk about Batman or denim from Japan. Let's talk about almost anything, everything but love. All right, here goes the bass. Let's talk about robots, geological hotspots. Let's talk about feminism, optimism, blues. Let's talk about Kermit the Frog or places we would go in Prague. Baby, I don't think there's anything to lose. All up with your arms around me, babe, I just can't concentrate. No, I wanna do is hold you close and stay up late. Let's talk about cephalopods. Let's talk about the blue canary and the holy dove. The sing-a-song, Leonard Cohen song, and maybe I'll sing along. Let's talk about almost everything but love. Tag to the A. Let's talk about almost everything but love. One more time, let's talk about almost everything but love. We don't have to talk at all. Woohoo! All right. Amy Kucharik, Greg Toro joining me today. I'm going to flash his website back up here for you. Check out his album, gregorytoro.com. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Greg.
My pleasure.
Yay, this was super fun. Moss Boston, thank you so much. Moss Boston says, time was good, treat. Yeah, we got a treat.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll play we'll have to do this again. Treat or train wreck. I'm digging it. So anytime, I'm game.
All right.
For now, we must say adieu, and we'll catch you next time. So have a great day, everybody. Bye. Thanks, Greg.
Bye.